during the war in your house, you also describe how you had a lot of refugees
Oh
coming
yeah,
right before the war, right before the situation deteriorated.
if people were escaping from other countries like Romania, and they all came to Budapest. They were not allowed in schools, in synagogues, because if they went in, they asked them, "Do you have papers?"
Mm-hmm.
They were young boys, frum boys, religious boys going into synagogues, and they wanted to pray there. And they said, "Do you have papers?" People came over to says, "No." "Well, you have to leave. You're jeopardizing us. They find you here, you will be, we will be murdered, and you will be murdered. So it's not good for anybody." So they would not take the risk. So what should we do? Go to the Gestetners. And they
Wow.
did. And they did. And they did.
And you made room for them there, wherever, whoever came.
There was always room. We had many boys staying there and girls, and they had my mother in the kitchen. There was always somebody there. Always.
Was it dangerous to host them?
Very,
Very. So
very, very.
were your parents nervous about that?
I don't remember them being nervous. All they knew is that they could come, and they came and they stayed.
Did you as a child understand what was going on?
No, no,
No.
these are our guests. Absolutely
Right.
not. Not only that,
Right.
but we always had a good time, and we made fun of them like kids do. We
Right.
made them, "You're a chazan," we told one of them. Isaac was called him, "You're a chazan," and we made him sing, and "Your voice is so good."
Wow.
He didn't know how to sing, but
Right.
we teased him enough.
You teased him. Wow. So your father had a factory there. He was the owner of a factory,
Yes, yes.
and your mother was in charge of the home. You had a
My
lot of
mother
siblings.
was a real balbuster, always guest, and don't
A real
forget,
homemaker.
homemaker is not even
Not
the
the word.
word,
No.
not
Yeah.
the word. Anyone can, the table was never set for less than 20 to 25 people, always.
Wow.
And
Wow.
this meant going to the market. She went to the market with the help, and the market, and just brought home the food, fresh. There was no storage fridges and no freezers. Everything had to be done that day.
Wow. Wow.
They made
She was busy
They made the pasta alone, the pasta for the soup, for the macaron. Everything was made at home.
that day. Wow. Wow. Incredible. How did things change when, I mean, you grew up in this privileged home, this aristocratic home, and then things suddenly changed. Could you tell us what happened how
From
did it change?
from what I will tell you what I remember. They came in shouting at my mother. My mother was
Who came in? The Nazis?
The Nazis came shouting, "Everyone into the truck." My mother, she wasn't lost. She wanted to dress 2 dresses on her, wherever she tried. No packing, into the truck, into the truck. So she, with a baby on her arm and pregnant,
Wow.
we were hoarded into a truck. Well, now, no seat belts, no seats, no nothing, just open. And at that time, from what I heard, my father just came home from shul and saw what's going on, that his family is being hoarded into a truck. And he had to make a very quick decision. Do I join them? Or do I stay out, because he had connections, he had money? Or I stay out and I try to save them. And then he made
Wow.
a very split-second decision to stay free, and that did help.
Of course. That was how he actually saved the
That's
family.
yes, yes.
Wow. So you were taken in this truck with all these other people, I guess, other
No,
Jews?
no, no.
No,
Just
just your family.
we were
Just
we
your
were a
family.
large family, just us.
Right. How
Uh,
many were you at the time?
we were only 8. My mother is the only one that went to the war with 8 children, came back with 9.
Wow. Wow. Because she was pregnant at the time. Wow. And you were how old at this time?
I was 6.5. I was maybe just about 7.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So you were taken to where? The truck took you to?
To a jail, and there they see all these kids, and the Nazis come in. The SS come in. We're not babysitting them. We did not come here to babysit them. So to my understanding, I think we were given oath to child protect. I don't know. I don't really know. My older siblings were just roaming the streets. But I remember being sent to I don't know, maybe it was two single ladies, older ladies. To me, they were older. They were probably 28 at the time.
Right.
So they were,
Right.
and I was there. I remember sitting in a very nice velour chair and sobbing, and just putting my face in the pillow. And I remember telling my father after, I was crying nonstop. So my father asked me, "What did they say?" So I made sure they didn't notice. Of course, they noticed, but at my age, I thought that they didn't notice.
Right. Wow.
So
So
then
they took
they
you.
then they placed us in different places. I remember being in several places, like I don't even know if they were Jewish. I don't know, in apartment houses, and I had a big mouth, and I was, even though I was shy, and so they said, I was telling everybody, my father is trying to get my mother out legally. So they took me from apartment to apartment. I should tell my story, and I carried on so long that they took me to my mother actually to visit,
Oh, wow.
and I was
Wow.
the only one. I remember that was. I don't want to describe it because I don't want to lose it. My mother hugging me and crying, sobbing. It was horrible. They pushed me through railings somehow. And I remember, I didn't stay there long, but I know that I had a visit with my mother.